I started out my practice in traditional litigation, what I would refer to now as an unconscious practice, an unconscious divorce practice. It was focused mainly on conflict, going to court to try to resolve an issue, not spending a whole lot of time working with my client or with the other party to come to a peaceful resolution. And it just didn't seem aligned with who I was. My focus very much has been on trying to work with people to come up with a peaceful type resolution. I became a trained mediator, trained collaborative law attorney, and I've worked with a lot of people through settlement. I've also been a neutral mediator in many cases. And I think that there's a lot to that. There's a lot, it's a more effective means of coming up with a resolution than traditional litigation. But I still felt that there was something missing. There was a component of it that wasn't there. While I was trying to discover what that really was, I was also going through some transformations and changes in my personal life as well. I went through a divorce myself. Spent a good period of time where I was separated by a good amount of distance from my kids, so there was a lot of driving involved. There was challenges and there were struggles, and I was really trying to find who I was, what I wanted to do. I thought about just giving up law altogether and going in a different direction. But something kept pulling me back into family law, and it took me a long time to figure out exactly what that was. But I think it had to do something to do with bringing kind of sort of a new paradigm, something that bringing myself into the practice and changing my practice to be aligned with who I was, instead of trying to change myself to be aligned with what people might expect a family law or divorce attorney to be doing. In order to help me figure out exactly what that entailed, I decided to continue my education, and I researched some different avenues on that and settled on a degree in spiritual psychology from the University of Santa Monica. I completed that, and going through that process, it came forward to me different principles, different ways that I could integrate that spiritual psychology into the practice of law, and making it really an integrative practice, similar to, say, an integrative medical practice. My idea was to come up with what that looks like, take a more holistic approach to working with a client when they're going through that, because a lot of upset comes forward, a lot of challenge, a lot of resistance, all the old patterns that they went through that got them to that place, to where the divorce was what they feel their only option moving forward, perhaps. All that came about because of underlying hurts and underlying upsets. So I really wanted to find a way where I could take a more conscious approach to what was going on, and not ignore big parts of what was happening with my clients, and instead of just referring them out to someone else to deal with their emotional issues or whatever, I wanted to be able to try to be more fully present so that I could assist them on the different aspects of their life, and really kind of almost coach them through the whole process. And in doing so, I really found out that dealing with the legal issues was really kind of secondary. Once they started working on the issues that kind of brought them to the situation, brought them to the separation, the divorce, we started looking at what the underlying issues were that brought all that about, and clearing some of those up. The legal issues would often kind of take care of themselves almost. I mean, there wasn't as much, when all of the effort and energy was put on resolving these legal issues, there was all kinds of other stuff that would get in the way. But once I started taking a look at what those other things were and putting the focus on those, it seemed like the legal issues would almost just go away on their own after spending time working on what was really going on. So I decided to really kind of make that a focus of my practice. is working with somebody leading up to the legal issue resolution by resolving issues within themselves and guiding them along the way with so that they understand their options and their rights and that go along with the divorce, so we're not ignoring the legal issues. So I really kind of view the old paradigm as the unconscious way, where instead of addressing the issues that are present within, the client just hires someone to fight for them. It's like, I don't want to deal with all this stuff, it's a mess, I don't understand everything, I'm just going to hire an attorney and they're going to sort it all out for me. Well, when people do that, when we do that and we don't address and take responsibility, ownership, and work on our own issues, they don't really go away. I mean, you might come up with a coping mechanism or a Band-Aid that will get you through for a period of time, but usually down the road, other conflicts, other stuff just kind of all bubbles up because the underlying issues haven't been addressed.